This is an early '68 Pro Reverb. Belongs to a friend of mine who runs a studio in town. He was doing a session using this to reamp some tracks, and it cut out and he smelled something burning. So he shutted it down and asked me to take a look at it. Wise man. This is an amp that I had gone through and done all the major lifting on in May of 2018. So it's been a little over 4 years. And, there's always the concern that something's burned. In this case, it was just a bad V4. Electro Harmonics was running really hot, passing no signal, and probably at the moment of failure might have made a smell. Nothing's burned in the amp. The amp is totally healthy, but it did have quite a bit of leaky DC. So I've done some things here that might seem a little crazy. I've disconnected the yellow wires going from the preamp node to here and to here, and they were all twisted around this blue wire. And I had voltage at this node, which is now disconnected from everything but the blue wire. And I had leaky voltage here at this node. It was a combination of voltage leaking in the board and a bad tropical fish that someone had put in there a long time ago. 4 years ago, it was still good. I didn't take it out. I've tipped in this Panasonic ECQ. I think I've got the correct ceramic here to put in there. If not, then I'll neaten up the ECQ and do a proper installation. But I left the leads alone for now. And so I removed all the solder here, and I removed all the solder here, and I soaked those areas of the board with ISO and drove it out with heat. I've reconnected this one. I haven't reconnected this one. I disconnected these and untwisted them, and I cleaned the cloth insulation on these yellow wires with isopropyl, because they had like 300 millivolts just on the cloth, and now it's down to about 60 millivolts right there, 74 millivolts there, where it's all going underneath the board. But up here where it's going to be touching things, it's down in the 20 millivolts range, 40 millivolts. That'll probably get even better as it continues to evaporate. I don't want to do anything too heroic, but it's much better now than it was when there's 300 millivolts, because some of that was spilling over onto the blue wire. And down here at this end, the two mix resistors coming in the phase inverter used to have 30, 40 millivolts there, about 20 millivolts there, and about 50 millivolts here. And I've just, touched the cap. Disconnected everything, but right here at this node, there's 87 volts, and that was bleeding either into here or both. I keep touching that cap. So I've disconnected everything, gotten the solder out, and done the isopropyl and the heat, and now there's no more voltage present there, or here, or here. So let me pause this, put everything together, and then see if all the DC leakage is gone. It exhibited as just a little bit of a faint buzz in the background that was audible even with all the volumes off. And it would not have anything to do with the failure of V4, but it's nice to get these. Actually, it might have. There was like 300 millivolts present here. That goes to the grid, one of the grids of V4. It's possible that it contributed to it, but I think it's probably just coincidence because it was Electro Harmonics, and those are pretty crappy. The tube that's in V2 is also a little bit microphonic, so I've got two new tubes coming for this. But let me button this up. Let me put it together. We'll see where we're at first. Alrighty, so everything's back in place. You can see I put a ceramic disc cap there. That's what the originals have or had, and it makes a difference in the sound. Not all capacitor materials make any difference, and not on all locations, and not in every circuit. But that's one in the old AB763 circuit that I have tested and tried different caps, and film sounds quite nice, but a class 2 ceramic behaves the proper way. Alright. Notice it fluctuated a little bit as I was measuring some of these things. That's because my hand is actually capacitive if I'm not touching the chassis. That's a lot better measurement on that yellow. It's not as good as 0, but it's a lot better than 300. And let me put V4 back in place and see if that buzzing is gone. It could still be some of the original plate resistors that are present. Sometimes you have cumulative layers to a problem, and old carbon comps can make a buzzy rushing water noise. But no, that sound is gone. Let me do a real quick test just to make sure everything is passing signal properly. And it's going to be really low volume. I don't care about blasting the neighbors for this test. I just want to make sure that the signal is passing through after all that. So here's the reverb channel. And on the normal channel, I had done a bunch of testing on this amp before I got to this point, so. It's all sounding pretty good. There's a little bit of a higher noise floor than I'd like, but the cabinet is not shielded. So let me replicate that with a bit of aluminum flashing I have handy. Or actually in this case, I'll use this top panel from an Ampeg as part of an SVT. Yeah, that's much better. All right, I'm pleased with that. I'm going to put this amp together. And I woke up this morning and I noticed that we hit 25,000 subscribers. So thank you very much. That means a lot to me. And I'm going to do a thank you video. And I think I'm going to do a special little video for that thank you video. And I think this 68 Pro Reverb, a 79 Super Reverb, and a 73 Deluxe Reverb that are all here at the same time, and all just about ready to go home, will together let me make something that a lot of you guys will find very useful. Consider it a thank you. I mean that a lot. I never thought that I'd get to 25,000 subscribers. It took forever to get to 1,000 subscribers. And I remember posting, my cold pizza the day that I got to 2,000 relatively quickly after 1,000. And 1,000 had taken like 3 years. So it's a crazy algorithm, and it seems to favor me for some reason. Don't think that I'm not appreciative of all your support and interest. And I try to up my game as I go forward. So thank you all, and look for a special thank you video coming in the next few days.